Oh, am I? Hey, good morning, big bikers. Well, we're at the lovely little town of Kapunda in South Australia, just up in the lofty ranges, kind of on the northern edge of the Barossa region. So I've been here for a few days, but the weather has just been atrocious. I've had, where I've been here, I've had really gale force winds, really strong gale force winds, and lots of rain. So I'm not quite sure what condition the tracks are going to be in today, but there's only one way to find out. And if it just becomes a little bit too slippery or compromising, we will turn around, because despite the fact I am bristling today with emergency devices, I'm hoping not to have to use any of them. Alright, Mrs. Jones is nice and clean. I gave her a nice spa treatment last week after the ride in the mud. The last time I did that was when I was at Tamworth in March last year. So, alright, I got sent some tracks. I've been talking to traction control off. I've been talking to Phil and Paul from the South Australia ADV Riders Group, and I've been trying to get a I can sneak up the side here, I reckon. Thanks, mate. That was interesting. I've been trying to catch up with those fellas for a ride, but we've not been able to make the schedules work. So anyway, I was talking to Paul the other day, and I kind of threw something up, and he said, look, can't make it. They've got something else on, I think. Well, anyway, so Paul sent me some tracks from a ride they did a little while ago, so that's what I'm following today. And there is a promise of some interesting riding, so fingers crossed. But I'm just looking up ahead here, it's going to turn into red mud, so yeah, let's just go and find out how bad that is. I'm going to put the back camera on. Everyone loved my emu. last time I did that, an emu tried to kill me. So why have I got two emergency beacons on today? Well, it's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. This is the one that's active. It's my GARMIN INREACH. That's my old one, which is a SPOT Tracker Gen 3. And there's a reason I swapped from the SPOT to the GARMIN. And that reason has recently changed because SPOT have changed the way they do things. Now let me just explain. So when I first got the SPOT, you bought the unit. It was about $400 or $500. You bought the unit, and I think we've got a turn up here somewhere. I can hear Paul on the video go, no, turn right there, turn right there. No, I think it's here. All right, mate, I'm on it. So when I first got that, you bought the unit for $300, $400, $500, something like that. I can't remember, $4.99 maybe. And Taylor's Run. Awesome, more red, mate. And then you paid, so you bought the unit, and then you paid an annual subscription of, like, I think when it first started out it was 300 AUD or $2.99 or something like that, and that gave you 12 months access to the SPOT tracker, and that you could put it on any time and then ride with it. But then they put so it was an annual subscription, so each year the price went up. And like I think the decision that I made to change was when it got to like nearly $400. And the problem was I was only using it once or twice a year. Like I was only using it when I was doing those big trips out into the desert. And you know, that's it was great. Fortunately, I never had to use it, which was terrific. But it just seemed like a complete waste of money to have it sitting there for the other 9-10 months of the year when I wasn't using it. So anyway, we went out to the desert. I think it was 2018. Went out with Chris and Neil had an InReach, GARMIN InReach, and we're sitting there. We're camped out at Murdy, right out in the middle of the desert, out past Cameron Corner near the Strzelecki track, and his Garmin's twiddling away. And I go, what's that? He said, I'm just getting messages on the footy score from a mate. So we're sitting there under the campfire, or beside the campfire, under the stars, drinking whiskey, and we're getting footy updates from his mate in Brisbane. The big difference there's a couple of big differences. The big difference between this one and this one is this one you can actually send and receive text messages. Now that one's got a one-way messaging service, so you get to a location for the day, you know everything's safe, we're all okay, and then of course all of the emergency protocols and SNS and SMS and all the SOS and all of the emergency functions you would expect from an emergency beacon, but it was very, very limited in the fact that you couldn't communicate with anyone, and there was no Bluetooth function to be able to connect it to your phone. There was an app you could log into, and it could track your it would track where you've been, but I don't think it was giving kind of trip data and that sort of stuff. Can't remember. Anyway, that was the main reason I changed, because this one you could actually do two-way messaging, so you could send and receive text messages via satellite, but you could also do a monthly subscription, so you could subscribe for 1 month for $25 or $50 or $60 or whatever you wanted. They had different plans, and you could subscribe for a month and then turn it off. So once you bought the unit, you didn't have to pay for it all the time, and I thought that was a great idea. So anyway, that was why. But to be honest, mainly it was the two-way communication that was so important. Now, just recently, when I was actually going to start talking, because I've had a number of people say, "Why did you switch from the Spot?" So the reason I did was mainly because of the price, because they didn't offer a subscription function. And just recently, when I thought I better do that video he's been asking me to do, I thought what I'll do is I will just go and do some research to see what the current rates are on the SPOT Gen3. So I did that, and lo and behold, Spot have now introduced a monthly subscription that can be activated and deactivated. So maybe when I'm making the video, I'll just pull some information off their website. But essentially, there's now the facility for you to have a monthly subscription with that one. And I think what they did was they realised they were losing an enormous amount of business, because people were just going, no, $400 a month for something I'm using once or twice is ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. This is getting a bit boggy in here. So I think that's why. And look, there may have been a change of ownership. I don't know the full story, but ultimately, they now offer a subscription service. Now, you're going to have to go and do a little bit of research for yourself to see whether or not they are now offering two-way messaging, because with the Garmin, you can download the Garmin EarthMate app, and it'll Bluetooth to that, and you can do all your messaging and everything from the phone, so you don't have to worry about using a stupid little keyboard on that thing. And even with the InReach Mini, which is about the same size as the Spot, it doesn't even have a keyboard or any sort of screen where you can do messaging. Everything you've got to do through the app. So that's a pretty good thing as well. So there you go. I hope that clears things up for a lot of you. Dirt, no access. Paul, what's the deal? Okay, no access to Hydale Road. Okay. This is starting to look a bit grubby up here. The other thing that was a strong theme during the last video was everyone is saying you shouldn't mount your emergency tracker on your bike, because if you crash and you get separated, particularly if you get hit by an emu, then you know you get separated from the bike and you might not be able to get back to it to set off the emergency. And I get that, and I absolutely do, and I've you know, generally always had the unless I've been with people. If I've been with people and had the emergency beacon with me, I've had it mounted on the bike. If I'm by myself, then definitely yes, it should be mounted on the person, and I will do that when I finish talking about them. And you know, that's supposedly the best place to have it. But you know, what happens if you break both your arms? You know, you get both your hands torn off by a rabid drop bear, or you know, a crazy overprotective male emu. All right, so that's it. Anyway, I'm going to. Ooh. You know, Paul, it'd be much easier if you're here, just leading me around, mate. I wouldn't have to stop and keep looking at the map. I think I've missed a bit. He's going, you missed a bit. Look, oh no, maybe not. Know where that one goes, but it's not where we're going. Paul's got me going up over the other way, so we'll do that. All right, I'm going to move all this stuff, and I'm going to mount this on my person so that everyone can just calm down, okay? And then we'll keep riding. I'm just waiting for the traffic. There you go, for all of you guys that are going, you know, where have you mounted it? There it is, mounted onto my backpack. So when you buy the InReach, it comes with a little carabiner and mounting strap for exactly that purpose. Different than the dirt roads I normally ride on, just the graded roads. I mean, these are graded, of course, but where am I going, Paul?
It was a Friday night. It was the end of school. His head was feeling light. First time. She seemed much older then. She had turned 17. She knew some older men. The first time. Come, said the boy, let's go down to the sand. Let's do what we wanna do. Let me be a man for you. Oh, 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 oh,
This way.
oh, 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 I've been waiting for a long time. And you've changed a lot. Up till now it's been the wrong time to know whether to come here or not. Oh, come set the board. Just take my hand. Let's do what we wanna do.
I tell you, if it was just a little bit wet up, it would be very interesting. Don't speak too soon. I mean, the surface at the moment is really grippy. You know, it's like it's not dry, but it's not wet. There's just lots and lots of grip. Alright, if you can see that, it's starting to rain. You gotta be careful what you wish for. Well, I wasn't wishing for rain, but the last thing I said was, it's not too wet and it's not too dry. Well, it's like we're going to get the not too wet part soon, so, or the way too wet part very soon. So the track that Paul's got me going on is this way, but I wonder if you can get up along the top there and ride along through the. It looks like we're going up that way in a moment, so it'd be interesting to see whether or not we can follow that ridge along underneath those big propellers. No road along the ridge, unfortunately. Hardly surprising. Okay, according to the map. Remember a couple of videos ago I was talking about getting a new bike, and I looked everywhere. I don't even think there's one in Australia. I'm trying to get a 701 long range, or even just an enduro, just like a 2019 model, just because I was entering country where this bike was just too big, and then I couldn't find one. I actually rang a number of bike shops, HUSQVARNA dealers around the place. Nobody's got one until the next batch. Apparently there was a bit of a problem because of COVID and stuff getting bikes into the country. So anyway, couldn't get one. And then I did that ride up to Yunta last week, and it was nearly 500 kilometres. And whilst the 701 could easily do that, it just really reminded me of how good this bike actually is in that sort of country. Now, this is a bit of a compromise, this sort of stuff. I mean, you know, we're doing fine. She's a good bike. The 701 would be probably just a little bit easier to handle in here because it's just a little bit smaller. Well, it's 60 kilos smaller. But it's, you know, it's not such a big deal. And so that was it. But I looked at all the options, you know, like everything from well, I looked at all the options that were available. I didn't look at any of them seriously, except for the T7 and the 701. They're about the only two bikes I would consider getting. I mean, if Honda bought out a 650 Transalp like they used to have, twin cylinder, you know, just long range tank, good off-road suspension, good ground clearance, then bang, I'd have one of them in a heartbeat. But Honda haven't got anything. Suzuki, you've got the DR650 and the DL650. Kawasaki, you've got the new KLR 650. KTM 690 and the 790 kind of fit into that kind of category, that mid-size thing. The Yamaha, I've got the T7. You know, and obviously HUSQVARNA, I've got the 701. We call it the butternut pumpkin because it's not orange. I'm not allowed to have an orange bike, apparently. Some of my KTM friends have told me I'm banned from owning KTM. So, but I am allowed to own a butternut pumpkin. So a butternut pumpkin, as you know, is white on the outside and orange on the inside. So the 701s have been nicknamed the butternut pumpkin. But I just can't get one. Can't get hold of one. And I don't want necessarily the latest model 2021 with all the latest techno whiz bang. I just, the 2019 with the twin balancer in the crank, ABS, that's all, no traction control. I'd have one of them, no problem at all. They had a few problems with the clutch master cylinder, but oh, here come a group of dirt bikes. Look at this. There you go. KTMs, T7s, these guys are out for a long haul. That's good. Another KTM. Another KTM. Looks like a KTM fanboy club. No. Oh, that's the T7. This one looks like a T7 as well. Yeah, that's a T7. So there you go. Just talking about them and there they go. T7's a really good option, but I've already got an adventure bike. You know, I've got a long range adventure bike and I don't want that. I want a big dirt bike. I want something like the 701. Anyway, Honda have got nothing. So I've prepared to go and get a butternut pumpkin. I just can't get one. The tracks I'm going to be riding on from here on in, like once I start heading west from Adelaide and then north up into the desert, I'm going to be getting back into the desert country, which is exactly where this bike excels. So, you know, particularly I'm not going to be carrying heavy luggage and stuff. It's actually a great bike for that. And it's a good bike for this. And after that ride I did up to Yunta last week, I thought, you know what? This is for where I'm heading next from, you know, the desert in South Australia and then over into Western Australia. There's probably going to be a few places where it may be just a bit big, but in terms of, you know, oh, good call, Paul. hello. Righto. Like I said, there's a few places where might be just a bit big, but at the same time, am I even on the right road? There might be a few places where it's a bit big, just like that. But at the end of the day, 99% of the time, this is the perfect bike. Suits me perfectly, fits like a glove. And it's been set up, and it's only got 40-odd thousand kilometres on it, so still new. So I'm just going to go down here and have a look at what this next bit's like, rather than just tearing off over the edge like the man from Snowy River. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no drama. All right. Oh, inspiration point. Let's go there. Looks like the tracks from all these bikes that came through. How you doing, fellas? Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah, thanks.
Good, yourself?
Good. Go for it.
Oh, it's just for a change. I was a bit worried it was going to be a bit wet, but you know.
Nothing up here.
No, it's good. Are you just doing zigzags like I am, are you?
I know a few roads around here.
Yeah, no, good. Awesome. All right. Well, have fun. You've been awake for the weekend camping by the look of things?
Yeah.
I'm trying. Is it the T7 Club? What's going on?
T7 group. They didn't have the boat. T7 Club and two wannabes.
Yeah.
They didn't have the boat suitcase.
Anyway, have fun. See ya. It's funny how I saw them. They're obviously zigzagging around as well, so there's that ridge up there that I just came down and met the fellas up on top of that. So there's what, 3, 4 T7s and 2 790s, so exactly the kind of bikes I was talking about. But, I think it's 701. The only problem with the 701 Enduro is it's only got a 200k range, but maybe 250. But that's easy fix with putting a bladder on the back, you know. Can easily fix that. Yeah, so it looks like the 701 LR is going to become a bit of a, you know, rocking horse poop situation. But you can buy the 701 Enduro and then buy the long range tank. So they're actually not going to bring the 701 LR out anymore. So you can buy them and make them though, so that's good. But I mean, you can probably do the same with an HUSQVARNA tank or a, you know, some kind of safari long-range tank. You probably get away with doing the same thing anyway. But they're just not available. I'll keep my eye out, of course. But like I said, you know, once I get out into the desert and start punching out 300-400 kilometre days, this is the machine I want to be doing it on. It's as simple as that. I wonder if that road I'm supposed to be on is up on that ridge. Well, that'd be annoying if it is. That would even be a good ride. All screaming at me, aren't you, Paul? You go, you should be up on top of the ridge. Way steeper than it looks. I'm just hoping I don't come across a locked gate or something. Oh. Great big rocky ledges. Wow, what a view. Whew. That's a bit of a climb. It's about 100 metres. Alright, far to go. Like I said, she's more than capable, this big thing. Well, it's not Inspiration Point, but it's not bad. Alright, let's keep on trucking. Scenic Road. Of course it's called Scenic Road. Hey! Damn.
I'd like to say it's only flat at the bottom.
No, well, that's the important thing, yeah. You're running a ultra heavy duty tube?
No tubes at all.
No, okay. Seems got it all under control though.
It's ordered.
Alright, I'll keep trucking.
She seemed much older then. She had turned 17. She knew some older men. The first time, come, said the boy, let's go down to the sand. Let's do what we wanna do. Let me be a man for you. Oh, 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 oh. She said, well, I've been waiting for a long time, and you've changed a lot. Up till now, it's been the wrong time to know whether to come here or not. Oh, come, said the boy, just take my hand. Let's do what we wanna do. Let me be a man for you.
There's 3 ways to go here.
And you've changed a lot. Up till now, it's been the wrong time to know whether to come here or not. Oh, come set the board. Just take my hand. Let's do
Strange
what you
gate.
wanna do. Let me be a man for you. She said, come with me, boy. Just take my hand.
How you going, mate?
Private land.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's private land. We had a lot of problems, fires and theft.
Yeah, no, I get all that. Like, look,
This guy from here.
well, no, I'll go back this way. I'll just go back out to the road I came.
Yeah, right. This private.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Appreciate you telling me. There's no signs or any of that sort of stuff around saying that, so... Yeah, no ill intentions, mate. No, it's all right, mate. I'll open it. Sorry?
That's not a chook tracker.
No, it's a 1000cc Africa Twin, that one. You know, I wonder if there's a difference. I mean, there very possibly is a difference between Queensland and New South Wales in terms of what is Crown land and what is not. Does Crown land even exist in South Australia because it was set up as a completely different state than the rest of them? I'm sure there is Crown land here. There have to be. They're part of the Commonwealth. But in Queensland, a publicly gazetted road, it's actually illegal for the farmers to close it off and make it private property because it's Crown land. It's a publicly gazetted road. But you know, look, I get this whole thing with private property, and I respect that, and I'm leaving, but I do question whether or not a road like the, you know, with a sign on it, it's publicly gazetted, like with a street sign on it. I just wonder whether or not that's actually, you know, literally, whether or not they're actually allowed to do that. You know, I know in Queensland they try to, but yeah, the councils try and close road, but they're not allowed to because it's actually public land. And it belongs to you and I. We're allowed to traverse, and you've heard my videos more than once where I've said as long as you don't go off into the property, the public road, and I think like 4 or 5 metres either side, something like that, is the gazetted public land. So the rest of it, is private property, so you just stay off that. Anyway, here we are. We're going to have to go a different way. C'est la vie. It was kind of fun up there anyway. Alright, big bikers. What have we got? It's 3 o'clock. 10 to 3 in the afternoon. And the shortest way for me to get home, or back to from here, without getting in any trouble at all, is coming down the motorway, down the highway. It has been a nice ride. It had been a little bit exciting. Alright, big bikers, that's going to be it for today. There's just not much left for me to do but run down the highway to Kapunda. Just down the road here a few Ks, and that'll be it. So thanks for tuning in, hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Over and out.